know what color he is. I know what color he is. He is brown as brown can be. Yeah. That's a good fish. Good fish. Cumberland River smallmouth. Look how healthy that fish is. Well, folks, we had a good time today. We didn't catch a whole lot of fish. I think we caught 7. We only had 4 keepers, but we didn't realize that the dam was open. We fished the Cumberland River below Barkley Dam in Lake City, Kentucky, and we had a good time. Saw a lot of boats. There's a big BFL out of Golconda this weekend, so there were a lot of guys down there practicing. So what we fished today is we fished a bait we keep in stock, probably one of our best-selling spinner baits. It's an Accent River Special, and we fished 2 blade configurations. We fished this 3/8 ounce bait with a double Willa, Gold Willa. The water color is perfect for the spinner bait, and that's what we got our most bites on. The current was a little bit tough, and the bait was in the middle of the river, not on the bank, so it made it a little tougher. But we fished that. We had a twin tail zoom trailer on there. I like it in current better than I do a curly tail, because it gives, the curly tail gives your bait more lift, and in current you don't need that. You need that bait to stay down. And also we fished another blade configuration here. I wanted something with a little more noise to it, so I fished a blade configuration here with an Indiana blade on it, a number 2 Gold Indiana, and that gave us the ability to get a little more noise out of it. And in my rod of choice, spinnerbait or chatterbait, you know, if you're casting a long distance on a drop or something in the lake, you want a long rod. But this 684 DC, the Champion XP, is a perfect rod at 6/8, where you can accurately cast, whether you pitch cast, sling cast, pendulum cast, whatever you do, it works out good. And everybody knows I'm a Abu Garcia Revo man. This is a Premier 6.66 to 1, and which is a perfect speed for the chatterbaits and the spinner baits. I've got 20-pound 100% Berkley fluorocarbon on there. You know, we hooked up with several gar today. Luckily we didn't have to put them in the boat, and a couple of carp, but that's why I like 20-pound line. We sure didn't have any fish that would hurt us. We could have caught them on sewing thread, but anyway, that's all right. That's part of it. That's why it's called fishing and not catching all the time. And also another bait that you know, I've used this 681 Dobbins spinning rod, 6/8 1-power spinning rod with 20-pound vicious no fade braid on there. And you see I've got a leader on here, and I've got the top water knot, and I've got a popper on there. That's one of my favorite river baits. And you ask, why do you throw it on a spinning rod instead of a casting rod? Well, number one, with this 20-pound no fade braid and a 20-pound McCoy green leader on here, you can put that bait anywhere you want to, no matter what the wind's doing, where the current's at or anything. You have a lot of control over it. The fast tip I showed you on the rod keeps the fish hooked up till you get them to the boat. And that's my favorite go-to river bait, especially in the heat of the summer. And you know, we fished another bait today. The only thing we caught on it was a carp. Luckily we got it off and didn't have to land it. But this is a Dobbins Colt Series 705 CB crankbait rod. For your small crankbaits, lipless crankbaits, up to a 1/2 ounce, this Flat A Bomber, which is probably one of the best river baits. Folks, this bait right here, you can make it run sideways down a bank. Now we're gonna have the new Chick Magnet in stock, which I believe will just be that same kind of bait. But this rod right here is a 7-foot, 5-power cranking rod. It retails for $79. If you're using a too stiff a rod on a small crankbait, you're not getting all your fish in. You need to come by and look at this. Of course, this is a 6/6 to 1 Revo STX on here. And all this stuff, the Dobyns rods is what we use today. They're our best-selling rod in the store. We've got everything. We can get you in a rod or a reel combination. You tell us how much money you want to spend. We've got it in our store for you. Also, something else I want to talk to you about. The weather we've had lately is the kind of weather that'll make you sick. You need to protect yourself when you're out there. Sunscreen and all, that's great. I don't use a lot of sunscreen because my skin's so sensitive, but I always wear my AFCO fishing gloves. I also always wear my UV protection in my wicking type tops here. Also use my mask, my Dobyns mask here. We got those in stock. If you cover yourself up like this when you fish a whole day, you won't have to worry about skin cancer and sunburn and stuff like that. All this stuff is really, really important. So we got all the stuff in the store. Something else is pretty neat. I've worn out 100 pair of tennis shoes getting them wet, putting a boat in. But we've got these in stock now. This is a shoe from Frog Togs. It's got a screen bottom, a rubber sole, and it's mesh all the way around. If you get your feet wet, which you're probably going to do protecting your boat at boat ramps and everything, if you don't have a courtesy dock to use, these shoes right here, your run down the lake will dry out your feet, so they're really neat. Man, we can't thank you enough for stopping in the store and asking about the stuff we use. Had several people come in and to buy the drop shot stuff. Everybody kind of liked that family-friendly drop shot. We're going to do a show here in a couple of weeks for you. We're going to get out there and show you how to use a small spoon to do about the same thing and catch the whites and the yellow bass that are really prominent right now. Again, we can't thank you enough. We want at Kentucky Lake Outdoors, we want to be your outdoor store. Be sure to stop in and see us. But most importantly, take a kid fishing. If you get a kid hooked on fishing, you'll never be hooked on anything else. Thanks as always. God bless you and good fishing.